everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca if we have never met before, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about all the houseplant things. Today I am attempting to do something that feels very ambitious for many reasons. The first being I'm about to show you a lot of things. The second being a lot of those things are very pokey, and the third reason is that I am completely surrounded by all of these pokey things. And I'm realizing that I'm not going to be able to film this intro without Leo all over me. So if you haven't figured it out already based on the title of this video and what I've just told you very cryptically, today I'm going to show you my entire cactus collection. And the reason that all of these cacti are in my house currently, sitting around me in my small filming space, is because all of these plants actually live outside on my patio. And I happen to live on a very busy street. If you have watched my videos in the past, you will know that it gets pretty loud out there, and I just really don't want to deal with the noise. I grew up in the desert. If you didn't know, I live in Tucson, Arizona, which is a major hub for cactus and succulents and just those drought-tolerant plants, and I've grown up collecting these types of things. My parents have always had a lot of cactus and succulents around our house in the backyard, so this feels very, very familiar. It almost feels like second nature, honestly, taking care of these plants. And I've actually made a video about caring for cactus from my perspective as someone who has grown up with them. That video was one of my first videos that I put out, or at least in the first couple of months, and if you are interested in that, I will have it linked down below. There's some good information in there, and if you want to see a little throwback, please enjoy. Okay, so as far as how this video is going to go down, a lot of my cactus and succulents are in variety pots together, and I just do that because I don't have enough space for like 70 individual pots on my patio, and honestly I think that looks kind of cluttered, so I've basically just potted a lot of them together. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so the first plant that I want to talk about today is this gorgeous Joseph's Coat prickly pear. And honestly, in a lot of my videos, I think I've also called it a Jacob's coat prickly pear, but it's something like that. And it is a little bit out of frame because it is so tall, but oh, actually maybe it's not out of frame. You can basically see the whole thing. But this is one of my very, very number one favorite cactus that I own. The prickly pear genus, or Opuntia, is one of the widest spread cactus that I have seen personally. There's so many different shapes, sizes, and varieties. This is a variety that doesn't have that many spines on it, and it is more known for its variegation and color. I have another one of these as well, but this is the prettier one. The care on this plant is so easy, and actually I should just say before I say that about every single cactus in my collection, all of these are very easy for me to care for just because of where I live. But if you don't live in a place where cactus are native to your environment, I would just say give them a lot of light, but not too intense of light, because they are susceptible to sunburn, especially if they're not used to like the strong direct rays of light. And also you probably don't need to water them as much as you think. I sometimes will go up to 2 months without watering my plants, especially in the winter, and sorry, my plants, I mean the cactus. And especially in the winter, I cut down watering like even more, maybe only watering like twice during the entire winter. Definitely something to think about in your cactus endeavors. This is an aloe vera, and there are many different kinds of aloe. This is a medicinal aloe, which means that you can use this on your skin. You can use it for burns and things like that, but you can also use it for moisturizing. I will say that it has a scent to it, a very particular scent, and it kind of reminds me of BO. And the only reason why I think that or know that is because growing up, my parents had and still have the biggest aloe I've ever seen in my life. If I can, before I post this video, I'm gonna see if I can get some footage of it because it is massive and it could be close to my age. So anyway, my dad used to use it for like sunburns and on his cuticles, or I think like he'd put it on his face sometimes, and it just had a very distinct smell. I always knew when he was using it. So you can definitely cut off one of these arms and, you know, just like use the sludge that's inside of it. And then if you don't use everything that you need, you can just put it in a cup of water and preserve it for a little bit longer. It's definitely not gonna last forever, but you can keep it up to like a couple days. Think like cut flowers. length of time. It is one of those plants that I overlook all the time and I don't really put much thought into, but it is really nice, especially in the summer when I get a sunburn or when I just want to moisturize naturally. The next plant that I'm going to talk about is another prickly pear. I don't remember, oh wait, it's called a sunburst prickly pear. And I know that my friend Nicole found this at a big box store, I think Home Depot in Phoenix. So definitely these might be more accessible to you if you like this plant. So this is one that I repotted in a collab video with Adam and Nicole, and I still have it. I love this plant. It's so beautiful. It really does not ask for much from me. And honestly, I think I've watered it once since that video. Like I watered it to water in the roots after repotting it, and then after that I haven't even touched it, and it's been really happy. So definitely would recommend this one if you like Opuntia prickly pear. So let's talk about my first cactus variety box I ever made. And just, oh my gosh, every time I look at this, I get so excited because it is so beautiful. I love all of the different cacti and succulents that I put in it. It just feels so dynamic and just like perfect for the size of box that it is. Everything has grown taller, but nothing has grown out with the exception of like this succulent here, which I'm not even sure why or how this thing is still alive, but it was actually a wedding favor from someone's wedding that I went to, and it turns out like a lot of people didn't take plants, so I honestly took like 7 and put 2 of them in here. Actually, there's 3 from that in here. This right here is an Echiveria, and it is an Echiveria that will turn purple if it has a lot of light, and you can see that it is kind of having a purple hue, but not super strong. All of my cactus actually sit in my western facing patio, so they're getting afternoon light, but it is also dabbled like through trees. So these are not getting as much light as I would prefer, but also there's really not much I can do because that's my only outdoor space, and the trees are actually really great for privacy since I said I live on a busy street. Behind this, kind of hidden, is a pincushion cactus, and I picked this up. I was going to give it to somebody else, and then it was just taking forever to get together, so I just decided I was going to keep it, and I don't regret that. The intentions were there. I picked that one up when I was in San Diego last year, and I'm really glad that I did. I think it's so cute. This one back here, I think, is like a zebra succulent. I don't know the name on it. I will try to get an ID. But anyway, it is really lovely. It feels like snakeskin, and I'm just kind of freaked out by it, honestly, but I think that it's cool still, so I have it in here. It is like sort of hidden in the back, so you can't really see it very well. I don't know, maybe I have hopes that it'll like start to trail off to the edge here. Who knows? Next to that, I have this really tall, it actually comes up to like, you know, maybe an inch past what you can see on camera, and that is a white ghost euphorbia. I have a lot of white ghost euphorbias, and the reason being that is probably my favorite euphorbia because it's so beautiful and so striking, and they grow so fast. Euphorbia are such a rewarding plant to keep because they grow so much. As you can see, this one back here I will get to in a second, but that is a almost 5 foot tall white ghost euphorbia. It's growing really fast, but I would really like to see it start to branch off more at the top here. I'm not sure when that will happen, but I have talked to people at my local nursery and they said that it will happen eventually. And after seeing this one, I'm confident that it will. I'm noticing on this one that there are like pretty long sections without branches in them. So I'm hoping that eventually it will branch out again. Right in front of that with some dying blooms, I have another Euphorbia. It's just a green variety, so nothing super special, but beautiful nonetheless. I love Euphorbia. All right, next to that one is this plant here. I will have the ID on the screen because I absolutely do not remember what it is called. And this is not really grown too much. This is another little succulent that came from the wedding, and it's doing okay. I think that it's starting to make little like rosettes on the top of it, so it must be happy, but I've never been particularly good at succulents, and that's just something that I have accepted. If they die, they die, and there's a few in here that look like rough. I do my best, and if they want to die, they want to die. Next to that, I have a red Euphorbia, and I love this one. I actually got it at a plant swap, and it was this tall when I traded for it. And so it has nearly tripled in size. And I especially love that the blooms on these are like little leaves, and that one has like purple leaves. And actually, I forgot to talk about this one, but this is one of my favorite cactus, just in general. This is definitely like in my top 5. It's called a totem pole. And I have 2 of these I'll be showing you in another variety pot. These are just so cool. They are everywhere in Tucson, like in landscaping. They are so easy and so fun to take care of, and they branch off as well and like have little babies. My other one has babies and I'm so excited about it. Anyway, so when it freezes overnight or something like that here in Tucson, everybody just puts like little cups over these, or even just throughout the holiday season when it's really cold, a lot of people will just put like tiny Santa hats, and it's so cute. I love driving around and seeing that, and it really is to prevent the plant from like freezing. When like dew freezes on top of it, that can be harmful for the plant. The last plant in this little box, you can't really see it, but I will wave to you back here. This is an aloe cutting from one of my mom's aloe plants. They have so many, like I said, they have a huge one. All right, I'm going to quickly touch on this plant. It has been featured in quite a few of my videos because I love it so much, but this is just one of my ghost euphorbias. It is really tall, and I planted it at the same time as I planted the one that I just showed you in the little box, and I just wanted to quickly show you again, and we've seen this plant a lot. I'm really excited for it to branch out again, and yeah. Oh, I forgot to say where I got this. I got this and the piece that was in the previous box from a nursery that was shutting down in California when I was on that trip. And I had been looking for these forever, and I got a really good price for them. And as soon as I bought these in California, I started seeing them pop up all over Tucson, which is classic, but I still bought more in Tucson anyway, so I really shouldn't complain. Alrighty, another favorite cactus. Can you guys see this with the plant behind it here? Maybe I will move this so that it's a blank wall behind it and you can see it better. Okay, so this is my Spiralis cactus, and I freaking love this cactus so much. It is so beautiful, and it is one of those vocal cacti, so it will get, actually all cacti are pretty vocal, but whenever something like this needs water, they get kind of shrinked up, and this one's kind of doing that, so I'm probably going to give it some water. But anyway, this is a plant that I actually got from a local nursery, and I could not believe that I found it there, and I really shouldn't doubt my local nurseries like I do. We have a lot of really great cactus nurseries in Tucson, and I really should go there more often and check out, actually no, I shouldn't go there more often because I'm gonna buy more cactus. I should definitely go there to find stuff like this. It was in a local nursery, it was $50, and I was helping out a local business, and I love doing that. It's been really, really easy to take care of. I've seen people take care of these in places like New York City, so I think that it is one of the easier cactus varieties, and I'm excited to see it keep growing and branch someday. I don't know when that will be, but the day that this thing grows a branch, I'm gonna freak out. Okay, so this cactus box is struggling, and I think that a really big reason for that is because it is so big and it requires me to fill it with so much soil. A lot of things that I've put in here have just kind of bit the dust, and I think that it is really because there's too much soil in it as compared to roots. Definitely come spring, I will be doing a second overhaul of this planter box, or maybe honestly just getting rid of it and then getting a small one because it's too big and I cannot possibly fill it with enough cactus to make it so that there isn't too much soil. I don't know if that made any sense. This one in particular is a donkey tail succulent. When I bought this, I think it was like barely hanging over the edge, and I was terrified to have one of these again because I have killed a few of them. It was actually one of the first plants I ever had on my own, and I killed it bad. I just don't touch it. I don't even look at it because if I look too hard, it's gonna die. but I'm really excited to see just like a bunch of new growth coming in. It does have some bald spots, but I've noticed from the bald spots, it will grow another branch. Okay, this plant right here is called a silver torch, and this is a plant that I wanted to get because it is very sentimental. I have seen these all over my university and just around Tucson. Of course, they are like 7 times the size of this one, but they grow these little flowers that are like tubes and they're like bright pink. They're so beautiful. I love them so much, and I just wanted to make sure that I grabbed one of these while I could. It hasn't grown much taller, but when it has grown taller, it has kept its girth, thickness. Sometimes cactus will just like, with this sort of growth habit, will get skinny at the top, which we will talk about over there. But this one has actually plumped up around the top here. Okay, moving on. This is, ouch! This is a zebra aloe. I think that's what it's called, the zebra aloe. I don't think that you can really see into the box. That helps a little bit, right? It is very slow growing in my experience. My mom gave that to me like, I think 2 years ago, and it really hasn't grown that much for it being 2 years. So I don't know, it's fine, it's healthy, I'm cool with whatever it wants to do, but it's been taking a long time to grow. This right here, if you can see it kind of buried in here, is called a bishop's hat cactus. I love this cactus so much. I really want a bigger one to put in a planter like this. I just love the texture of these. They honestly feel like lizard skin or something like that. They're so cool. And over here, my problem child, it's not a problem child in the like realm of giving me issues and like trying to die. This is my shoe. You can see right here that, okay, I'm gonna put the shoe down. You can see right here that the new growth is just very, very skinny, which is an indication that it's not getting enough light. And I am just like shocked and offended by that because everybody else is doing fine, yet this one decides to be a freaking diva, and that is just so ugly. It actually has like really turned me off to this cactus because I just hate the way that looks, but I'm going to stick with it because it is happy for the most part. But anyway, this is one of my only blue cacti, which is genuinely shocking to me because I love blue cacti, and this is no exception. It is absolutely gorgeous. It has like nice little fuzzies, and it's just so cool, and I would like to have more blue cacti. How cool would it be to have an entire planter box like this made out of blue cacti? This is another favorite planter box that I have made, and I would love to put more stuff in it. I feel like it's just a little bit bare for my taste. But in any case, let's talk about what's in it. This is a cactus, and it is a more mature variety. Well, I got this at a plant swap, and it looks like a plant that was just kind of beheaded because it has taken on a lot of qualities of a more mature. This is actually putting out 2 babies, and I'm really excited, if you can see right here and right here, and I'm really, really excited to see where this plant goes. It hasn't grown like up. It has just grown these babies, and that's fine with me. I've thought about removing the babies and kind of growing them and seeing what happens with them, but I also want to see what it looks like branched out because I've actually never seen this plant with a branch before, so that is just kind of a new experience. This back here, if you can see, is a Kalanchoe. This is super common and it grows like a freaking weed. It has grown so much, and it's actually, honestly, it hasn't grown as much as I thought it would, but it has done a lot of growing, and it kind of gets propped up by the window so it looks more like this. I don't know the scientific name for this plant, but I have heard people call it a brain cactus. It's right here, and this one hasn't put out a ton of new growth for me either, but this pad right here is new, so I'm really excited about that possibility of what this could look like eventually. I have no idea how you would propagate something like that, but it does have a very like shallow growth habit, and maybe it wasn't the best plant to put in something like this because these do look better when there are tall things in them. So we will see. Maybe it was a happy accident. I'll find out in a couple years. All right, so these 2 are blue cacti. So these 2, I forgot the name. I think it's a hairy blue Cereus or something like that. And I love these so much. I think they're so beautiful. These are definitely a favorite in my collection. When I bought them, they were probably this tall. So there has been a significant amount of growth. I'd say that's really fast growing for a cactus. A lot of people don't think that cacti are fast growers, But I'm here to tell you that that's just not true. You might not have the optimal environment, but when you do have the optimal environment, they grow really fast. So just seeing like how happy these are, I'm so confused about the other blue cactus. Like, I don't know what's going on. So this is a piece of the Joseph's Coat prickly pear, and you can see it's just like a little piece, and then it has grown this arm, which is very strange. I don't know why it's now a hanging plant, but if it wants to be a hanging plant, it can be a hanging plant, all right? And a succulent that was in here is a bear paw. And there is one branch in here that is still alive, but one day it was happy and the next day it disintegrated and it now looks like that. I'm confused. All right, so the next plant that I want to show you is this beast of a Euphorbia. I will show you some close-ups as I have this whole video. And this plant is absolutely incredible. It is so tall. I cannot believe how tall it is. I actually found it on Facebook Marketplace, and the person who I bought it from had another one of these, but it was like 6 feet tall. So it was absolutely insane to go to his house. I was geeking out like crazy. He was like trying to give me advice on keeping cactus alive, and I was like, yeah. I get it, give me the plant. But I think that he had grown attached to the plant, so it totally makes sense that he wanted to make sure that I didn't kill it. And I can, rest assured, you're never gonna see this video, sir, but she's happy. All right, you guys, so we are nearing the end. I have 3 more plants to show you, and they are not your traditional cactus, but they are under the category of jungle cactus, so I'm gonna show them to you. So the first jungle cactus that I have is this Rhipsalis. A bunch of people were very helpful in giving me the name, and I can't think of it right now, so it'll be on the screen. And it is so cute. I got this in a trade with a friend, and I will say that it's not that easy to care for, or maybe I'm just missing it. So maybe give me your tips in the comments down below for this plant right here, because there was a lot of shedding, and maybe it does that. Maybe that's like a very normal thing for this plant to shed, and I just don't know that. But it is happy. I mean, it's growing. I think that this is some new growth right here, and it wasn't this long previously, I don't think. But actually, somebody sent me a skull planter. It's right there, actually, you can see it, and I really want to plant this in it, and I'm so excited for that, but it is just not the time to repot, and I think that I want to wait until it's just a little bit happier before I disturb it again. But all in all, I mean, I think it's really beautiful, and yeah. Okay, the next jungle cactus in my collection is this Rhipsalis Paradoxa. I actually got a portion of it in a trade. It was this piece right here, you can see. And then the rest of it I bought on eBay, and actually there's a lot of new growth in here, and I'm very happy about it. You can see some aerial roots coming out. I don't know if you can actually see that, but there are aerial roots, which shows me a sign that it is alive, because I think with stuff like this, it's kind of hard to tell. But I love this Rhipsalis. I think that they're so beautiful, especially when they're really big. When I went out searching for one, I was hoping to get a really big one, but it just doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to find that. I was finding a lot of options that were around this size, but nothing bigger. So if you know of anything, maybe let me know. I don't really want to buy more plants like this, but maybe if I had the option, I don't know. Okay, so this is my Ric Rac cactus, and I love this plant so much for so many reasons, but mainly because it is so versatile and it will just kind of let you do whatever you need to do, and it is happy. So I have had this inside in a low light situation, and I have also had it outside in a very bright light situation. And in both cases, it was very happy and still putting out new growth. This plant started out as just a few cuttings from my grandma's plant that she has had for probably 10 years now. And it was very easy to propagate. I basically just put rooting hormone on it and put it in some soil, and voila, we have a beautiful plant. It is quite long. You can see I have a few stragglers down here, but you can't actually even see the original pieces of the plant anymore, just with all of the new growth that has come out. And I'm excited about it. I think that it is so beautiful, and just one of those like standard plants that I hope to always have. I really hope that I never have to give this thing away, because it's so easy and it really gives me so much confidence in my plant collection. So yeah, thanks Grandma for the cuttings. All right, you guys, we have completed the task of showing my entire cactus and succulent collection. Well, cactus, succulent, euphorbia, jungle cactus collection. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about cactus care or anything like that, I would love to start a conversation in the comments down below, and let me know which one of my plants here is your favorite, because I know that I have a few favorites and maybe you do too. Alright you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're not already, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss alerts on new uploads every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!